What's up, everybody? My name is Parasite. Welcome back to Challenging Celtic with Hearts. Today, we have Celtic in the Scottish Cup semi-final. I think if we get past Celtic, I think we can win the final. We've beaten teams of the caliber of the team that will be in the final. It's two high top half mid-table teams in the Premiership. We've beaten those teams before, but it's a long shot to get past Celtic here. I mean, we got destroyed by Rangers. I don't think Celtic's going to be much different. We are coming off of some pretty good form, at least, so we've got that going for us. Played 3 games. Started off with a 4-1 win against Arbroath. Halke with a brace. Armand, who's been in great form, gets a goal. Ginelly actually gets his first goal for the club in March 20th of 2021. He gets his first goal for the club. He has been so bad. He is definitely not coming back on another loan. We then played Dunfermline and beat them 2-0. Peter Herring and Stephen Kingsley with the goals. Did a little bit of rotation in all these matches just to get some backups in because I wanted to get as many people match sharp as I could, really. Just so if I had some injuries, I'd have players that are decently match sharp to come in. We then played Loath Athletic and beat them 6-1. Armand with a hat trick. One of them a penalty in the 86th minute. Halliday, Boyce, and Halke with goals. So yeah, going off of that match, we are in great form going against Celtic. Let's see what their form's been like. So let me click them. Yeah, that's pretty good. Oh my gosh. Have they lost? Okay, they did lose a game in the Premiership. They lost 1 game in the entire season in the Premiership. They got knocked. Well, they get knocked out of the Europa League group. Looks like they did. Didn't make it out of the Europa League group, but they've won every single game, won or drawn every single game, bar 1 in the Scottish Premiership. And I'm assuming they're going to win the title. They've already pretty much won the title. Yeah, this is going to be fun. If you like seeing a team get destroyed, check out this game, because that might be the case. The squad I'm going to go with to hopefully pull off one of the greatest upsets of all time. It's going to be this one. Gelhart's going to have to start at left mid, even though he has no idea about the position. But I can't play someone more attacking. I have to play someone in the midfield line. And Dembele is ineligible because this is his parent club. And I'm not going to play Mackay Steven because he has been absolutely horrid in the second half of this season. So I just cannot play him. Gelhart's been in better form. So even though he doesn't know the position, I'm going to play him. Michael Smith, Craig Halkett, John Souttar, and Kingsley at the back. Halkett's been in better form than Herring right now. He's scoring goals, which Herring isn't. Herring has 2 goals. Halkett has 7. So if we're going to get a goal, it's probably going to be through a set piece. And he's the one to get the set piece goal. Craig Gordon in goal. I just remembered I have to have 2 goalkeepers in the squad for this competition, which is stupid. So Herring's going to drop out. Midfield is McAniff and Odasoe. Alenga on the left-hand side. He's been playing really well. Armand and Lundlu as the 2 men up top. 2 men in really good form. And Lundulu's actually been in the worst form of anyone in our starting lineup. And it's a 7.1. Yeah, this season's gone pretty well. He's on 31 goals. And he's in the worst form. But yeah, Irving's still not back. He's back in 5 days, so he'll be back for the last 2 or 3 games of the season. Not really going to be helping us unless we get to a final of the Scottish Cup. Then he can probably play and help us, but I'm still thinking I'm probably going to replace him. He's gone down in current ability because of his injury. He was up to 3 stars, but he's really fallen off. His physicals are really dropping, and yeah, I think I need to replace him for next season. That broken ankle just absolutely killed him. But this is going to be a lucky dip. It's just going to be whatever happens. I'm glad to get to this point. To have gotten to the semifinal of the Scottish Cup, to have beaten, 2 or 3 Premiership teams along the way, that's been a good journey in the Cup. I'm happy. Now we just got to play our best and just see what happens. I'm going to say we're huge underdogs, so there's no pressure on you to succeed. Go out there and show everyone what you've got. Got to put no pressure on this team. Pressure's off today. Pressure's off today. No pressure at all. It's Celtic. If you win, you're heroes. But if you don't, I'm not too mad. Will you be looking for your more experienced players to help the younger ones through what is surely to be a high-pressure affair? I always expect the older players to lend advice and support to the less experienced teammates, and this is no different. As the leading goal scorers in the Scottish Cup, are you looking forward to another positive match in front of goal? There has to be a balance, of course. We work on everything in training. Goals make headlines, but they don't tell the full story. Celtic, I know these players. Like, I recognize pretty much all of these players, which is terrifying. Because I don't know if I've known a single player in the Scottish Championship. I've known maybe one or two. But, yeah, this is just a gargantuan affair. No pressure at all. Just go out there, play some football. Whatever happens, happens. Even their bench is ridiculous. Bitten on the bench. Scott Brown on the bench. Free kick. Halkett heads it away. That's why he's in this team, because he is so good at heading balls. That sounds weird. But he's just such a good header of the ball. He scores so many goals. He just gives us a chance off set pieces that is a penalty. We have a penalty in the 8th minute. Aaron McAnuff to take it. Please don't miss. Oh, it's in the script that he's going to miss this, right? It's just in the script. But he doesn't. Aaron McAnuff steps up and finds the back of the net. The goalkeeper doesn't move. He puts it to the goalkeeper's left. I don't know if he would have been able to get there, even if he dived for it. Let's see this again from the behind angle. Yeah, you're not getting to that one. He has to dive before he takes the shot to get to that one. Greatly placed penalty. We have the only shots of the game. One of them is a penalty, but a wonderful start to this game. As good as we could ever have hoped. I mean, maybe we could have hoped to be like 2-0 up at this point, but Ndulu's through on goal. Ndulu, oh, what a save. Barkas with a wonderful save. Ndulu looking for that far post. But the keeper makes a good save. We don't find our second goal. But we're good from corners. Halkett is good from corners, but he can't quite win this one. That's going to be the end of the highlight. But it's just going to be a highlight-full affair, isn't it? There's going to be a highlight every freaking minute, isn't there? Because it's Celtic. Of course there's going to be a highlight every minute. They're ridiculous. But so far it's been us. We have just destroyed them so far this game, but that's a terrible pass. McGregor with the ball, but that is a terrible pass. Gelhardt on the ball now. Played up to Ndulu. Over to Lenga. Ndulu! Oh, it's such a weak shot. Such a weak shot. He's got to go across the goalkeeper there to have any chance. But, hey, I'm not mad. We're up 1-0. We've had every single shot of the game so far. Celtic have done nothing. Our form, winning 6-1 in the last match, has put us in some great form for this match. But Griffiths is through on goal. Oh, and he hits the post. Off the inside of the post and out. That was lucky. That could have been a goal very easily. But we get through. Their first shot on target, well, their first shot isn't quite on target. Hits the post. And we still have the 1-0 lead. Michael Smith with the ball in. Ndulu heads it on, but it's going to go to the goalkeeper. Having Michael Smith is going to be huge for this game, too, for his long throws. Like, there's definitely a chance we could score on a long throw. We might not be able to score much from open play, but penalties, long throws, corners, definite 3 ways we can score. That's going to be a goal. Lee Griffiths gets played through. The keeper takes a terrible angle, and Griffiths just runs right past him, slots the ball into an empty net. That's some pretty bad goalkeeping right there. Craig Gordon with a pretty bad attempt right there. Turnbull with a nice ball through. That's Sutar, just doesn't follow his man. Keeper takes a bad angle, and that's going to be 1-1. Their first shot on target, because of course it is. Their second shot of the game. We've been the better team, though. We probably don't deserve to be drawing. We probably deserve to be winning this game. Odusoy is another option from set pieces, because he's 6'4", with some pretty good jumping reach, some okay heading. We go into halftime 1-1. If you would have asked me before this game if I would have taken that, absolutely I would have bitten your hand off for it. So I'm going to say I'm pleased with how things are going. Keep it up. This has been a great result so far. To draw them at halftime with all the shots, all but one of the shots on target. It's been a great performance. It's just been a great performance. McAnuff is injured. That's not ideal. Let's see what the injury is, if it'll ever show me. Dugout, come on, show me the injury. Why is it not showing me the injury? I want to know if I need to take him off. It's a bruise. I never take the player off because it's a freaking bruise. I think I've seen them get like a red injury from a bruise like once or twice. Usually they can play on with it. But the fact that he's down to no stamina or anything means it's probably a bad injury. Griffiths is through on goal, but he's not offside. Elyounoussi, of all people, he's like 5'0", heads it down to Griffiths, and we are behind. I'm going to go positive because we've been the better team so far this game. I don't think we're creating anything really from open play, but Forrest with the ball over to Elyounoussi, who is that? Smith, you got a challenge for that. He's like 5'2". I know you're not tall, but you're taller than 5'2". He backs away from it, allows a free header, and Griffiths has basically an empty net to put it into. Gelhardt has been awful. He's going to come off. Mackay Steven, do something. Please, God, do something. Alanga's tired and on a yellow. Jamie Walker. McAneff, we're not going to risk him. Bring in Stephen Naismith. Going to encourage the team. We don't deserve to lose this game. This is such an FMing if they win this game. I mean, the XG's close, but 15 shots. 15 shots and only 1 goal. We've been in great goal-scoring form, too. Like, Nlundulu and Armand have been scoring some pretty good goals. They've been pretty consistent in front of goal, but not this game. Somehow Nlundulu has a good rating, even though they've had 15 shots and have only scored once. All right, I need to make a change. I don't know what that change is. I literally have no idea what that change is. I guess just push the wingers up. That's the only change I can think of to really give us more attacking. Put Odasoe as a box-to-box midfielder. Move Smith onto attack. Move Kingsley to a complete wingback on attack. Smith can be a complete wingback too. Go more direct. Don't play out of defense. Float your crosses. Probably should have done that from the beginning. Take long kicks. Distribute to the target man. Push all the way up. Just see if we can find a goal in the last couple minutes. I don't think any substitutions are going to change this game. I don't have any game. Boyce is a good player off the bench, but I prefer to have the headed opportunities with 2 really good target men in there. We have more of a chance, I think, than having Boyce on the pitch of scoring a corner goal or a free kick goal or just a rare, corner, or not the corner, but cross goal. Clark doesn't change this game. Maybe for Kingsley, but I doubt he does anything. I don't even have the sub left to do it. So, yeah, there's no subs I can make. Our team out there is the only one we've got left. We've got, 5 minutes to become heroes. I don't think it's going to happen, but we do have a highlight, though, in the 91st minute, and it's going to start with us, Mackay Steven, who's been terrible this season. I'll probably look to sell him after the season is over because he's just been that bad. I don't trust him as a backup. He's been so bad. He's had a couple decent games, but for the most part, he's just been terrible. And it looks like it's going to be a Celtic attack. Araujo on the ball, into Rogic. How do you pronounce that? McGregor to Griffiths. Dropping deep from striker. Back to McGregor. We need to win the ball here sometime, boys. We need to win this ball and go on a counterattack. It's not going to be a counterattack. It's Araujo. What is that? A terrible sliding tackle try by Kingsley. And the game is over. Kingsley, what the hell was that? You weren't even close to him. You slid in. You were never getting there. You just gave up, basically. Look at this slide. Wait, you don't even move. And then, pretty lucky, the deflections both fall to Celtic players. Both deflections fall to a Celtic player. And they put it back into an empty net. And we lose. We are out of the Scottish Cup. I can't fault you for your effort. Nobody expects us to win, but you gave it everything. What? It's Celtic! You were the better team! How is unlucky not the right call? Not happy with their defensive work. That got them around. Not happy with their playmaking efforts. Oh, they hated that. I was impressed with your effort up front. Okay, that doesn't help. The team hates me now, so that's great. That ended well. Can you explain Dan Ndulu's bad day in front of goal? He wasn't good enough today. Unfortunately, he knows that, though, and he'll work as hard as anybody when we return to training. Why did you persist with Michael Smith when it was clear for all to see, especially the fans, that he wasn't up to today? Because he has long throws? Can I say that? He throws ball long, gives us a chance that no one else gives us? I don't care what they're saying, really. It's my job to make these decisions, not theirs. I'm not too disappointed. I mean, the performance we gave, they've won it 4 years in a row. To have that good of a performance, I'm happy. Makadev out 2 to 3 days. We get 19K. That's not really going to do anything. But that's going to be the end of the season because we've already won the championship. There's nothing else to play for. No Scottish Cup. Celtic are probably going to win it because they pay more for one player than probably half of our team. Well, yeah, probably half our team's wages on one player. So, yeah, what are you going to do in that instance? Actually, I can't see the wage disparity. I'll see it next season. So, I'm not going to end this episode there, though. I'm going to come back after the season is over, and I'll show you some of the stats from the season, just to give a little recap. We're not going to do the season review. That'll be for next episode, but I'll give you the season stats just to kind of catch up, see how the season went, see where we rank in every position, how our individual players rank, how the team ranks. So I'll go off and play these 4 games, and I'll be back to you very shortly. And we are back to go through the end-of-season stats. We have completed, when we get to the competitions, the invincible season. 0 lost games in the championship, 2 draws, one of which came here at the end of the season. I mean, I'm pretty happy with that. 77 points in 27 games is pretty ridiculous. But it is just the Scottish Championship. We are much better than the Scottish Championship. We should be a Premiership side. We should be a top half Premiership side. The fact they got relegated is beyond me. So, yeah, I mean, it's kind of to be expected. But if we look at the inbox, we have completed the invincible season. Received about 800K from getting first place in the championship. That's some good money because we don't have a whole lot. We're about $2.5 million right now. So if we look at the last couple games I played, we started off with a 1-0 win over Queen of the South. Not very good. We did miss a penalty as well, though. We played pretty well, but just couldn't find the goals. They were the worst team in the league, so only to win 1-0 is a little disappointing. We then smashed Greenock Morton 4-0 and in Ndulu with 4 goals. All 4 goals. Then we had that draw against Inverness. We went up 2-0 in the 18th minute, and then we threw it away with the very end of the first half with a penalty. And then in the 64th minute, they tied it up and couldn't find another goal. Defensively, we're not good. We were not good this last game either, defensively against Wraith. 4-3. 3 goals allowed, all in the second half. One of them being a penalty, one of them being a 94th minute goal. So, yeah, I'm not very happy with that either, but we got the invincible season. That's what was important. I mean, obviously, I don't really care whether we lose any games or not. Like, I don't care about the stats, about the invincible season. All I want to do is get back to the Premiership and win the Premiership. That's the only thing on my mind. But if we go to the competitions, we go to the Scottish Championship, let's look at some stats. Team detailed. We had the most average possession, 57%. Yellow cards, we had the most yellow cards with 54. Red cards, we did not have a single red card. Goals, 85, about double the second highest team in the league. That's ridiculous. Expected goals, 61. We scored 24 goals more than expected. That is ridiculous. That just speaks how good Ndulu mostly is. What a ridiculous return that is. 6 penalties, scored 4 of them. Best cross completion. Most goals from corners, 12 goals from corners, 3 times the next highest. This corner tactic, I'm telling you, it's good. Goals from direct free kicks, 4. Pretty much all of them Stephen Kingsley. Maybe all of them Stephen Kingsley. He was very good from set pieces. 7 goals from indirect free kicks. We were the just set piece monsters this season. Shots on target ratio, 6th. That's alright. Conversion rate, 3rd. Tied for 2nd. Dribbles made, we were only 2nd in dribbles, but off by 1 from Ayr United. Lost possession the least. Conceded the least, 18 goals. Again, nearly half the next highest team in the league. So a ridiculous goal difference. Expected goals against of 18. So we conceded exactly the amount of expected goals, really. So that means our defense isn't doing anything spectacular. They're doing their job. They're they're not giving up easy goals. Well, they are giving up easy goals. They're not allowing them to score harder goals. So the only goals they get are the ones that are expected to get. So easy goals are expected. So that's pretty good. I still think we need to improve our defense a little bit, but I don't know exactly where. Conceded 1 from corner, none from direct free kicks, and 2 from indirect free kicks. 13 clean sheets. Only 1 more than Arbroath. That's surprising. Arbroath did pretty well to get 12 clean sheets. Highest average attendance, obviously, triple the next highest team. Only 85% of capacity, though. That should be better next season. We didn't have no team had a sellout this season. We actually had the highest capacity at 85%. Wow. Fans really don't come to Scottish Championship games. Our highest attendance was 19K. Lowest attendance was 14K. We had no transfer spend, so 6th in transfer spend, but salary per annum, 3 times the next highest, 3.52 million to 1.44. I mean, still closer than I thought it would be, but yeah, we're still spending a lot more than the next highest team. Of course, Celtic are probably spending like triple that at least. If you look at player detailed, don't care about games won. Yellow cards. Who had the most yellow cards on our team? Craig Halgate with 6. Sutar with 5. Wow, and he only played like half the season. Naismith with 4. Player of the matches. We didn't have the most player of the matches. Timmy Abraham. Brother of Tammy, I'm assuming? I think so. He looks like him. Assuming that's Tammy Abraham's brother. Timmy and Tammy. Okay, of course, apparently his name is Jason Timiebi. Not even going to try that. I'm assuming he's Tammy's brother. He looks a lot like him, so. Inland Dulu's second, though, with 6 player of the matches. Distance covered, didn't have anybody. Per 90, Josh Ganley, Joe Gelhart, who probably aren't coming back next season. Highest average rating, all of our players. Pretty much our starting 11 is the 11th highest ratings on the season. That's ridiculous. Goals, Inland Dulu leads the goal. Twice as many as Timmy Abraham, that is. 30 league goals in 23 appearances. He is a cheat code. An absolute cheat code. He only expected to get 15. He got double his expected goals. Oh, Inland Dulu is so good. He is so freaking good. 68 minutes per goal. He had the most shots, but he also had the most shots on target. Both by quite a bit. His percentage was not in the top 20. Conversion rate, pretty good, 23%. For a guy that takes that many shots, that's a good conversion rate. Most shots per 90. Most assists was Michael Smith with 11, our right back. A lot of those from long throws, too. Armand second with 8, which is pretty good for a target man. Karamoka with 5 when he's only here. Well, he only started like half the season. Andy Irving, who was only here for half the season with 5. Naismith, who barely really even played with 5. Michael Smith, most assists per 90, 0.64, 0.56 for Armand. Key passes, Andy Irving with 62. That's impressive. Literally, he only played half the season. He came back for like the last 2 games, but he legitimately only played half the season and he got 62 key passes. He would have dominated that if he didn't get injured. I'm surprised he didn't have the most key passes per 90. He's not even anywhere up here. That's kind of weird. He didn't play very many minutes. He made 9 appearances and had 62 key passes. Maybe he didn't have enough appearances to qualify for key passes per 90 minutes. Maybe he didn't have enough. I'm assuming that's why. Because there's no other reason for him not to be on that list. Conceded. Craig Gordon conceded 1 more than Legdens. But he played... Did he play more games? He played double the games. And had 1 less goal conceded. So yeah, best goalkeeper in the league. Didn't have the most clean sheets, though. But did they play... He made a little bit more appearances, though. He made 5 more appearances. So Gordon got injured for a little bit. That's about everything for that. I wanted to go through the squad, too, just to look at our first team. Who's coming back? Who's not coming back? If we go to our squad, let's go by position. So Craig Gordon will be our starting goalkeeper next season. He's 38 years old. We'll need to look for a replacement pretty soon, I think, but he's good enough for now. Michael Smith will still be our right back. Those long throws are deadly. His physicals aren't really dropping off too bad just yet. He might only have one more season, but I want to use those long throws as long as I can. He was very good. Obviously led the league in assists. Center back, Sutar is definitely coming back on the left-hand side. I think I'm going to have, if I go to my transfers, Josh Knight is probably going to be our starting center back, our other starting center back next season. He's just a little bit more balanced than the rest of the guys we have, in terms of physicals especially. I think he's going to be our starter next to him. So, I mean, Halkett and Herring did well this season, but Herring's just too slow, I think. He's got some pretty decent attributes. I think Kings Knights are better, but he's just so slow. I can't trust him as a center back, really. I might play him more as a midfielder next season. And Halkett, I mean, he's pretty decent. I don't think he's as good as Knight. He's a better header of the ball. He scored quite a few headed goals for us for only being 6'1". He has 14 jumping reach, but again, his physicals are just not as balanced. His technical or his mentals aren't as balanced. So I think I'll go with Knight as our starter. But they'll be fine as backups. Left back, I'm going to go with Kingsley. He's going to be our starting left back. He played really well this season. 7.38 average rating on the season. He's got those free kicks, which are pretty good. 13 free kicks, but he looks pretty solid. He's a very balanced player. I think he can do well in the Premiership. If not, we'll replace him next season. So, deep line playmaker, I think we need a new deep line playmaker. McAdiff was good, but I just don't know if he's going to be able to cut it in the Premiership. His attributes just don't wow me. And Andy Irving, if he would have finished the season and could have developed a little bit more, I think he could have been the starter, but his physicals really got hurt by that broken ankle, and he's only 20 years old. I think he's better as a backup. I trust him more as a backup right now, so I'll be looking for a new deep line playmaker. In terms of our defensive, our ball-winning midfielder / box-to-box, I'm going to go, if I can find him, he's probably at center backs, yeah. I'm going to go with Owen Odasowie. I did get him for another year. I extended his loan contract. But when I did it, they said I had to play him at defensive midfield. I couldn't afford his wages if I wanted to play him as central midfield. They wanted like over half his wages, and I couldn't afford that. So for about a third of his wages, I get him. But he has to play defensive midfield. But that's fine. We can just play a defensive midfielder. We're just going to play this with our defensive midfielder and central midfielder next to him. I think it makes sense, too, just because this fullback's going to be bombing on a little bit more. So we needed a little bit more support down that wing. Him being a defensive midfielder should help that. So that's where he's going to play. He's going to start. He was very good for us this year. Since he came in, he played well. 4-star current ability. No, that's not everything, but his attributes back it up. His physicals are just otherworldly. 18 jumping reach at 6'4". He is a monster in the air. He can definitely do some coverage at center back too. I mean, he would probably start at center back for us as well. So, yeah, I could even look for a new ball-winning midfielder or box-to-box midfielder, but I think I like to have him in that position. And then for the wings, I think we need 2 new wingers. Karamoko Dembele did good this season. I just don't think he has quite the attributes to cut it in the Premiership. That passing really worries me. His lack of really a very good end product kind of worries me. His lack of very much in a mental game really worries me. I just think he's better suited to be a backup, and he is coming back for the season. I got him on another year's loan, so he'll be a backup. Gary Mackay-Steven, I'm probably going to sell because he's on pretty high wages, and he's just terrible. 6.95 on the season, but he started the season really well. He ended the season in like the last 20 games on a 6.58 average rating. Yeah, he was just awful for us. I want to sell him. If not, he's a third-choice right winger. In terms of the left wing, Alanga came in and did decently well, but I did extend his loan. But ever since I extended his loan, he was awful. He had one good game. I extended his loan after this game, and since then, 6.5, 6.4, 7, 6.7, and didn't play. So, not the most impressive. In that Greenock Morton game, we dominated, so I don't think he really did anything. He was just on a team that played well. So I don't really trust him as the starter. And I don't quite trust Jamie Walker as a starter either, but I trust both of them as backups. So I think I'll want a new left winger, and they can be backups. In terms of striker, Armand is definitely coming back as our starting target man. He played really well this season. He didn't have the most goals, 14 goals and 21 appearances, but 8 assists. He helped out a lot. I was very happy with his play in general. He's a good target man. And next to him, hopefully it'll be Dan Lundulu. They currently don't want to let me loan him because they think he should be playing with higher quality players. I'm hoping once we get that reputation boost from being in the Premiership, they'll agree to send him here. So I'm hoping that second striker is going to be Lundulu. Otherwise, it's going to start off as Boyce, and I'll need a new backup. I think Boyce is all right to be a starter in the Premiership. He played well this season, 21 goals and 21 starts. So, but Lundulu, 37 goals and 30 starts. Yeah, he's a step above. So I would love to get him back, but it's not guaranteed for now. So this is what the starting lineup's going to look like. 3 holes that I need to fill. Then in terms of the backup, let's save that starting lineup. Save team selection as first 11. And then clear that. Whoops. Clear that. And in terms of the backups, obviously I've got a new keeper coming in that's going to be the backup. If we look at him, it is Ryan Alsop. He's going to be our new backup goalkeeper. Should be fine there. Right back, Mitch Clark is coming back for another season, so he can be on the bench, providing cover at right and left back for us. Solid player, played well this season. I don't think he's going to be a world beater in the Premiership, but he's going to be a solid backup that can play both fullback positions. Just very versatile, very useful. Jamie Brandon can be the third. Center back is obviously going to be Halkett, and if I can find him, Herring. They're going to be our backup center back partnership. I fully trust them as backups. Herring, I'm still worried about his pace, but he played ridiculously well this season. 7.48 with a 7.75 in his last 5 matches. I just can't ignore that. Like, he's played well even without the pace. Like, how can I trust a little bit more? Because he's a goal scorer and he's quicker, better physically overall. But yeah, I think they're fine backups. I think I can get by well with them. Popescu is like the 4th or 5th center back, will be fine. Odusoy also being able to play there would be fine. Backup left back, probably going to be Aiden White again this season. He's not especially great, but maybe I need a new backup left back. The way I think about this is whenever I wanted better backup, I improve the starter. The starter should become the back. If I want to improve my team, make my team better and better every year, and I want a better backup, I should be improving the starter, and the starter should be moving to be the backup. So maybe I look for a new starter, but that's a little bit less priority. It's not going to be as big of a priority as finding all these other positions. So right now, Aiden White's going to be my backup left back. Center mid, Andy Irving will be my backup deep line playmaker. I feel comfortable with him and McAniff that we'll get fine by there just fine. And then Demore and Halliday would be both of our backup box-to-box / ball-winning midfielders. They can both play defensive midfield. They can both play ball-winning midfielder. So I think they'll be fine there. They'll be our 2 backups. I think Halliday would be our main backup. Then on the wings, Karamoko is going to be our backup on the right-hand side. I think I'm going to start with Jamie Walker as the backup on the left-hand side. He had a good season, 7.22 average rating. Longo with 7.18. But yeah, Walker played well when given the opportunity, so I'm going to have him as the main backup. Alongo will be the 3rd string. Ginelli and Castanier will be leaving the club. What else? Strikers. I need backup strikers. I guess Naismith's going to be one of them. I'm okay with Naismith as one of the strikers for this last season. This is probably going to be his last season at the club. His contract doesn't expire, but maybe I'll sell him in this transfer window. Maybe look to sell him and bring in 2 new strikers. 1 new striker, maybe. Because hopefully Lundulu comes back and Boyce can be a backup. So there's questions about the backups positions for strikers, but this is what our backups are going to be looking like. Almost a full team. We'll have a goalkeeper. Just the only question marks are at those striker positions. But hopefully I can get Lundulu back. That's what I'm aiming for. So next episode will be the off-season special. You'll see the end-of-season review. And we'll start doing some signings, see who we can sign to improve this team, see if we can get Lundulu back. Thank you all for joining me. If you made it this far, why don't you like the video, subscribe, and click the bell. The links to all my socials are also in the description. I really appreciate all your support. Thank you all for joining me, and I'll see you next time.